here for a purpose.
The forest basked in the brilliant radiance of the midday sun, its golden beams filtering through the canopy to paint dappled patterns on the forest floor. Birds of myriad colours flitted amongst the trees, their melodic calls blending harmoniously with the rustling of leaves and the occasional scurrying of woodland creatures. Amid this serene scene, the tranquility was shattered by the sudden commotion of rapid footsteps echoing through the woodland. A young elf named Calton had inadvertently stumbled upon a small band of mischievous goblins, and what ensued was a lively pursuit that reverberated through the heart of the forest. Calton maintained a swift and steady pace, her elvish grace and nimbleness granting her a clear advantage over the haphazard and clumsy pursuit of the goblins. However, her confidence faltered abruptly when she reached a sudden dead end. Unfamiliar with this section of the forest, she had unwittingly followed a path that culminated in a formidable barrier of dirt and tangled roots, obstructing her escape route. Before she could scramble for a foothold to ascend the natural obstacle, the goblins closed in on her with relentless speed. Acknowledging the inevitability of confrontation, Calton shifted into a poised fighting stance, mentally preparing herself for the imminent clash. As the goblins closed in, Calton poised her staff, primed to strike the first blow. But just before the nearest goblin entered her range, a commanding shout echoed from atop the obstacle that had blocked Calton's path. Suddenly, a strikingly beautiful human woman with cascading golden blonde hair leapt down, effortlessly dispatching the initial wave of goblins with a single fluid motion. Calton stood in awe, her astonishment matched only by her profound surprise. The warrior's appearance was captivating. She wore gleaming armor adorned with shades of red and gold that shimmered in the sunlight as she moved with a blend of grace and ferocity. Before Calton could fully comprehend the unfolding scene, the majority of the goblins had been swiftly incapacitated, leaving only a handful still standing. The warrior woman stood proudly, exuding confidence as she taunted the remaining goblins. The goblins conferred amongst themselves in a rapid exchange of words, spoken in a foreign tongue that Calton couldn't comprehend, before ultimately deciding to retreat. With a smooth motion, the warrior sheathed her sword, then turned towards Calton, extending a welcoming hand. "Hello," she greeted softly. "My name is Daxan," Daxan said with a warm smile, her eyes gleaming with reassurance. Struggling to regain her composure, Calton stammered out, "Calton," and reached out to clasp Daxam's hand in greeting. "Come, let's return to my camp. You can meet my friend," Daxam said with a warm smile, her eyes gleaming with reassurance. Upon their arrival at the camp, Calton's eyes fell upon a young human male engrossed in casting magical spells at a makeshift target. He appeared rather youthful for a wizard, attired in blue garments and sporting an oversized cavalier-style hat adorned with an extravagant white feather. "Calton, this is Farum, the greatest wizard in his own mind," Daxam quipped playfully. "He's like an older brother, in a manner of speaking." As he pivoted to greet them, he removed his hat with a flourish, revealing a bald head that starkly contrasted with his thick black moustache. "Greetings," he mused with a hint of sarcasm, his tone tinged with formal jest. Calton executed a courteous bow, adhering to the customs of her tribe. "Greetings," she replied, then turned to Daxam, "and thank you for coming to my aid." As they gathered around the crackling fire, Calton's curiosity overcame her usual reserve. "What brings you so far north?" she inquired. "All the human cities I know of are far south of here. I am searching for someone," replied Daxan cryptically, her expression thoughtful. Is there trouble that I should be aware of? I may need to inform the local elf tribes. Thalta responded with a touch of apprehension. No, it's... Daxam hesitated briefly, her gaze distant. It's a gold dragon, she continued reluctantly. Thalta's jaw dropped in astonishment. A gold dragon? I thought they were extinct. No one has seen one for 1,000 years. No one except my village just 10 days ago, replied Daxam gravely. I should start from the beginning. Daxam began recounting her tale with a solemn expression. I hail from the village of Auskud, nestled in the southeastern plains, a peaceful and picturesque place. However, I was not born there. I am an orphan, taken in by Faram's parents when I was just a babe. My life's mission has been to uncover the mystery of my true parents and understand why we were separated. I began training with the sword early on, knowing that my journey would not be without challenges. One day, as I was strolling through the village on my way to my lessons, the sky darkened suddenly. Before I could comprehend what was happening, the peaceful atmosphere shattered as a black dragon descended upon our village. I tried to rush to my mentor to retrieve my sword, but the dragon was swifter than I. I thought my time had come. Just as the black dragon poised to strike, a golden dragon materialized seemingly out of nowhere and valiantly defended our village. They engaged in a fierce aerial battle, their roars echoing through the skies. Ultimately, the black dragon conceded defeat and fled to the west. To the west? Questioned Thalta, puzzled. But black dragons are typically from the southern swamps. Curious. Indeed, Daxan continued, her gaze distant with memory. The gold dragon, however, did not depart immediately. Instead, it lingered momentarily directly above me and then fixed its gaze upon me, not just in my direction but directly at me. I was both terrified and strangely comforted by its presence. Then, as if conveying a silent command, the dragon motioned with its head as if to say, "Follow me," before swiftly departing to the north. Daxam sighed, a sense of relief evident in her voice as she finally shared her tale. And that is why I journey north, to seek out the gold dragon. Thalta glanced at Faram, who had been lost in thought, staring into the fire throughout Daxam's story. "And what about you?" she inquired, turning her attention to him. "Did you come along to protect your foster sister?" she asked, jokingly, attempting to lighten the mood. Faram responded with a smirk. "Well, I couldn't let her have all the excitement, could I? Besides, I missed out on seeing the dragon that day, and I just can't have that." Thalta smiled, recognizing Faram's underlying affection for his sister. "Well then, as luck would have it, I happen to be heading north myself. What do you say we travel together?" Faram's smirk widened into a grin. "Sounds like a plan," he replied with enthusiasm, glancing at Daxan, who nodded in agreement. "It will be an adventure worth telling, no doubt."